Let me tell you, in a defense, any kind of defense or a court of law...
Maybe it is meant to intimidate.
No, not really even intimidate. You know, if you go to a court of law, the issues are litigated and they are submissions. So you will be found guilty or not guilty based on the submissions. So you cannot say that, this is a simple issue. Let them say, I will dismiss. Let me have my trust in a lawyer who is not... No. Even in an academic defense, you go with your document, which is very good. But if you ask a question and you say it is very good, it is in that document, you will definitely fail. You will definitely fail.
All right, let's get the view of the lawyer in the room.
Yes.
Kipchumba, I mean, it is Prosecutor Dorcas Oduor versus the likes of Senior Counsel James Orengo, Kalonzo Musyoka, Okongo Mogeni, Dr. John Haminwa, Nelson Harvey, Millicent Odhiambo, all those, to mention just but a few. What does this, from where you sit as a lawyer, what does this point to in this whole DCJ case?
I think we are just a different kind of Kenyans. Every time, instead of looking at the bigger picture, we insist on looking at the frame. Mm-hmm. Is it wooden? Is it plastic? The bigger picture is the arraignment of the DCJ in a court, in a criminal court. Whether
so you're accusing Mark of focusing on the frame.
No.
Mark is the one who brought this.
And let us go back to the
optics.
Whether she had 15 lawyers, all the 8,000 practicing lawyers in the country, or one, we are not addressing the issue. Lawyers under the cab-rank rule have a role or have a duty.
Let's get to the picture.
To the court, a duty to the client, and a duty to the society. If today I'm arraigned before a court of law, and I have 10 lawyers or one lawyer, the net effect is one to achieve justice. But going back to the main picture, because we might dwell a lot on the frame and the optics that those are NASA lawyers, there are no NASA or Jubilee lawyers. All lawyers go after clients. If today you are my client and tomorrow your case is over, I have a right to represent your enemy in another case.
All right, we'll get into that. We'll get into that later on. Tell us more about what you see in the real picture of this case.
From where I see the real picture of this case is this. In every journey, in every growth of a democracy, there are missteps and there are bound to be hurdles and bumpy ride as we go and as we grow a democracy. We have seen it happen in the United States with the Manafort case and all that around the Trump issues. It is, for us, we must also allow the gentleman by the name Nurdin Haji some latitude of failure, which does not mean we are condemning him. We should not condemn him. He is not perfect. He is human. But there is a statement that Nurdin Haji gave us which shook my conscience as a lawyer in this country. It shook my ability as a taxpayer. When we say we are going for the cases which will have maximum impact in the shortest period, are we subverting the rule of law? His role is about enforcement of law,
yes,
not about impact. He is not a communication strategist like Bichachi who is after optics. He is a paid public officer who is supposed to ensure enforcement of law. All these other theatrics behind here should not be the case. Addressing ourselves to the issue of DCJ Philomena Mwilu, I think we are splitting hairs a lot in something that is as basic as the color of A and B, simply because we have had presidents. When we go to the case of Ajiwa Ngujiwa versus the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is a common law jurisdiction, where therefore I am allowed to refer to it.
All right.
The case law there, it was a court of appeal, similar charges, misuse of public office. Mm-hmm. It was the holding in the case was such that you cannot drag a judicial officer through a criminal system while they are still holding into the title they have. The best thing will have been this, and we have the constitutional remit in Article 168, whereby you are supposed to take these people through a tribunal, remove them from being judicial officers, deal with them as now ordinary citizens. And this, the predicament at which Nurdin Haji leaves us is this. How do we make this lady to resign as the DCJ? Because ordinarily, and president is there, Tonui was taken through the same system in the bribery allegations. and Nancy Baraza was taken through the same system.
JSC.
What makes Philomena Mwilu an exceptional? That is where the issues of revisiting and all these other issues comes in.
All right.
And then again, this comes at a time whereby the judiciary has had cuts on their budget. The judiciary, we have had issues around the reconstitution of JSC, where the state actors have refused to gazette the 3 members because of other things.
Hold that thought. We're coming back with that issue.